Man, that girl done called about 3 times asking what this shit is. I come back to the house in a minute, man. Don't pay the neighbors no goddamn mind. Yeah. What you talking about, nigga? Yeah, I got this kind, but shit, all that shit going for a different price, though. I bet. I can't talk too much. She said, damn, what is this flavor? I got the flavors, this shit loud. You got neighbors, they like the flavors. This shit smoke, it's like the 80s, it's jumping like coke. She said, Kush, it make a float. Better these ranks, we gon' have to rock the boat, man.
Yo, it is your boy Luther Zay Diamond. Some of you know me as Mr. FTW, some of you know me as Zay Slime. But I am here today with the monster Draven Morrow, somebody that I had the honor of being in the ring with. And just want to say, man, what's up with you? How you doing?
Man, doing all right. Just working a lot and running all over the damn place. So
Man, I gotta just start off by saying thank you for giving us, the time of your day. I know you're a busy man. You already told me kind of like what you're doing outside of wrestling. So I can imagine, because I ain't gonna lie to you. If I did what you did, it wouldn't be no interviews. Wouldn't be no interviews. So I just want to say thank you for, giving us the time of your day off of that.
well, I don't actually do as I told you before, I do steel metal roofing for my shoe job, but I don't do any installation. I'm literally just a salesman, so it's mental, not physical. So
Yes, sir. And we just gonna first start off like, what got you into this? What got you into wrestling? What made you want to say, let me put on these boots myself?
man, you've been watching my stuff because that's always the question I start off with. Man, I love it. Legitimately, what got me interested in wrestling to begin with. Back at late 80s, early 90s. My dad's favorite wrestler was Hacksaw Jim Duggan, hands down. Because actually, my dad reminds me of Hacksaw, to be honest. But no, man. When Hacksaw won that first Royal Rumble, my dad, I remember the look in my dad's face. How much joy that gave him, and I was like, man, I want to do that. I mean, and it took me, how old am I now? It took me a long time to actually get involved because, to be honest with you, I didn't even know there was an independent thing. I was not aware of that. I grew up here in Louisiana. Okay? Louisiana Athletic Commission is kind of rough, from what I understand. But moved to Arkansas, did the backyard stuff for a little while, but on that, I got lucky though, because one of my buddies actually worked with a guy that actually wrestled by the name of Josh Cross, and brought him out to the house one day, and we messed around with a little match and all. And he was like, "Man, do you want to learn this and do this for real? Come on, dude, let's go!"
Yeah.
It exploded from there, man.
And just seeing like ever since I personally make sure you've heard nothing but great things about you. Have you did nothing but help others break into the business? How you take your time out to work with the younger ones, and you know how to do stuff. Like, you kind of talk to me about how's the indie scene when you first broke into business to how is it now?
Well, actually, in 2 days' time, it'll be 11 years since I started. On the February 28th, 2015 is when I had my first match.
Okay.
But a lot of the guys that I was learning from, and that I was working with to learn my own path. A lot of those guys have stepped away or unfortunately passed away. So to be I see Clown over there, Clown and Terrence Allen. What's up, guys? But anyway, a lot of those guys have stepped away or moved on, or have taken more of a mentor role than actually in ring. So I know when I first started, it was riding that borderline between the old school and more of this new school that's going on. So it was kind of that fine line, you know. But my trainer wasn't like a lot of the old school guys. He didn't just beat my ass the whole time. He actually taught me what I needed to do. Gave me reason behind why I was doing something. I appreciate that, Terrence. But gave me reason behind what I was doing instead of just going out there, beat the shit out of me for an hour, and then saying, "Okay, now you can go do something." You know. So I think that's the main difference. Is now a lot of guys are a lot of the trainers nowadays are a lot more patient. And I think that started around that time for me.
Okay, and I guess this kind of picks back up on my next question because I noticed like you work with older and new. So where did you kind of find that balance? Because I'm not trying to be funny, man. When I first broke in, you always talked about, like you said, the older guys don't really like working with the younger guys, and if they are, it's just I'm gonna whoop your ass real fast. We gonna get up out of here. Where did you kind of find that medium balance? Because I want to say, like, I've been wrestling now 5 years. I wrestled you. You were like my third match ever. And when I say you were just like so graceful with me and everything you did, like from start to finish, like, you know, I learned so much just with that one match. But like I said, you were my third match in. And at first I was supposed to work with a person that you were kind of hearing that it was like, and that you don't know how it's gonna go. But with you, it just went perfectly fine. So I just want to ask, like, where do you kind of find that median at?
Well, and I don't necessarily agree with, you know, like a lot of the old school guys just beat your ass. I think that was an old school mentality. But a lot of the old school guys that still wrestle to this day have become more patient with younger guys to an extent. For me personally, it's just finding that middle ground. It is just definitely my life experiences in general. You know, I'm a high proponent of promoting positivity, trying to, you know, not necessarily let yourself get run over, but try to be a better person overall. Because a lot of the stuff that people get mad about in a week's time, you're not even going to be thinking about it. So I tend to not hold grudges. I tend to be more patient than a lot. So I think that's what helps me. You know, when I'm in there with the older guys, you know, I work more of that style, so it's a little easier for me to go. But then when I'm in there with the younger guys, I'm more adept to be able to lead. So that way I can say, hey, this is what if you want to expand and grow on this, this is what you may do. It's just try to use my experiences to help anybody that I can.
Yes, and definitely are amazing to work with. And we got some fans, man. We just want to say shout out to everybody. I got Fred, Terrence, Carla, Lucas. We got some people here, man. We got some big Draven Morrow fans, man. And we just want to start. I want to go back in the day as a young. Who were some of the people you watched growing up? I know you said Hacksaw at first, but like outside of Hacksaw, who were some of the other people you watched growing up that made you want to say, I want to do this?
Well, and Hacksaw was my dad's favorite.
Okay.
You know, I really, in all honesty, I really didn't watch a whole lot of wrestling when I was younger. You know, I couldn't get, you know, like we had antenna, we didn't have satellite and cable and all that stuff. I'm old. Come on now, but but no, we could where I live, we couldn't get Mid South, so I didn't really get to grow up watching that like a lot of the guys that I know did. But for me, honestly, it was more towards like, you know, early to mid '90s when I really started picking in. You know, especially, you know, like I always gravitated more towards the actual character, especially dark characters. If anybody that's watching knows, you know, I mean, you know, you can definitely lay comparisons on how I work. You know, like, you know, Undertaker, Kane, two of my all-time favorites. Bray Wyatt, you know, if you go into the more recent eras, was to me one of the best minds in the business. I also, you know, I got a kick out of Boogeyman. I just love the characters. Papa Shango, you know, all those darker characters. Missing Link, even, you know, you go back a little farther back. But in all honesty, you know, the feud between Undertaker and Mankind was really what hooked me into wrestling, just because these are guys, like especially Mankind. Mankind is a guy that looks like he could just walk away from a car crash. He's built like a pear and can get the shit beat out. But to see the stuff he put his body through, and to see the way Undertaker, carried himself, like, I'm this big demonic monster, and it was more about the personality than the moves. It sucked me in, to where I was hooked for life.
Definitely. Okay, so now I want to get into back more to the indie scene. Can you talk about some of your favorite people that you done helped actually breaking into the business, and some of your favorite people that you done actually worked with in the business?
Breaking in, I've always feel kind of weird because I have several people that say I was their trainer and stuff like that, but I look at it more of a mentor role. I did help train, but I don't take full responsibility. But guys like William Blackwell, Kay Toomer, Drayshawn Prince, Grayson Beckett. Dude, there's so many that I've worked with over the years. Those are just some that I can just off the top of my head. I've worked with hundreds of other guys, younger guys, like yourself, that 5 years or less in, just try to mentor the best I can, whether it be in ring or outside of the ring. I've always got an open inbox. Anybody that knows me knows that. I got a bunch of wrestling kids that lay claim to me. I'm the godfather of Arkansas wrestling.
Definitely. I'm one of those kids that claim to you, so you know what I'm saying. I definitely know.
But like when it comes to actual like in ring working with William Blackwell always pushes me to my limit. Like I said, he started under me and a couple other guys, and then he went out and just exploded. I mean, he is literally the William Regal of Southern wrestling. I mean, this guy can do it all. But he brings out the best in me. Literally, I have to work 10 times harder to step up to his level now. That's just, to me, he's the best wrestler in the South, if not further out.
I first met him, I want to say, at Antonio's promotion, and I just loved everything about him. Everything about him.
One of the best minds in the business, hands down, whether he believes it or not. But then, like chemistry wise, like in ring, where I can, we don't have to say a word. We just go out there and do. Would either be like Josh Cross, who, like I said, who's brought me into the business, who trained me, or Ray Ivy. Me and that dude, we never got to say a word. We just go out there and beat shit out of each other and have one of the most fun matches. Man, there's so many I really enjoy working with, but on so many different levels. That if I'm going to do this type of match, this is who I want to work with. If I'm going to do this match, this is who I'm going to do a hardcore match. Leave Ray Ivy at home. That dude's going to beat my ass.
I actually have something you'd be proud of. Actually, me and Ray Ivy had a match a while back ago at AWE, and Logan was there, and I want to say it stole the show. But Ray Ivy pushed me to places outside like I had never been, and it was just like, it was like still to this day, I would say that's probably like my most match I'm proud of, because like his character working on. So still, like, it was kind of just like. It was different for me, but it was definitely like the most match I could say I was proud of, because I had never been pushed that hard until I wrestled like you or Ray Ivy. So that was one of those I would say definitely Ray Ivy.
Yeah, definitely, and that's one of the guys I worked with most over the years. So that's why it becomes so easy. Same day with Josh. I mean, hell, my first 2 years in the business, 90% of my matches were with Josh. So it's just real easy to 10 years later, to say, oh, well, okay, we're working. All right, I'll see you out there and go do our thing, Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, I want to talk about everything you're doing for the Arkansas scene, because you have a podcast of your own. Right now, you're like the only one building some like record stats and everything for Arkansas in general. I didn't really see that until you started doing. Kind of talk about what you're trying to do for the Arkansas scene, and what your actual goals is for what you got planned for next.
Well, number one thing is I want everybody to be able to work together. you know, you're here, so you know, and you work there, so we're enemies now. I want that shit to go away. I want everybody to be able to work together. I want just because, you know, this guy works at this show over here, oh, well, he can't work here, you know? I want that tribalism shit to go away. I want everybody to
Yeah,
be able to work together because, you know, personal is personal, business is business, and, you know, it's the old, you know, the term what's best for business, you know? But you gotta put your personal aside, and you gotta work together because that's gonna be to the benefit of everybody. You know, we can all eat at the table, you know, that old saying, you know?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but and I'm not really keeping, you know, like stats and records and all. What I'm primarily doing is just like every two, excuse me, every 2 weeks, which I will be on later on at 8 o'clock tonight. I do Arkansas Wrestling and League, and what it is I find every flyer I can from the state, the upcoming shows. I try to put all the shows over, no matter which one it is. And then I bring somebody on and interview them, kind of like you're doing with me right now. Tonight I will have exclusive. Garth Mahoney will be on there tonight. The guy vying for the king of the trailer park. So,
That's dope. That's dope.
but that's the whole thing. Like with my AWO stuff too. AWO is kind of a. It used to be a promotion that I ran pre-COVID, and then COVID hit and just kind of wiped us all out. I just never did step back into it. But what I've done though is it's more kind of similar to like what AIWF does, with kind of a conglomerate thing where I'm working with multiple shows. It's cross promotional, or like say if this show may need a couple of guys, hey, I can contact this show. Hey, you got me can work here. Trying to work with each other, trying to promote each other, trying to make, you know, trying to help everybody grow. And in all honesty, looking at what's gone on over the last, you know, six months to a year, looking at some of the names that have come into Arkansas recently, and that's what I wanted. I wanted people to want to work in Arkansas. I wanted that stigma about Arkansas wrestling to go away. That it's nothing but a bunch of mud shows and crap, you know. Um, so you know, like you've got shows that have you know, like Mike Bennett at GCW multiple times. You've got, you know, Austin Aries and Rich Holiday showing up. OCW did a show that I got to be a part of that had Abaddon, Enzo, Good Brothers. I mean, you know, you've got these names popping in that never would have done that before until recently, where when we have started working together and started to get rid of that stigma, you know. Sorry, I went on a little rant there for a second.
No, that's what we needed to hear, because I think that's what I know some people probably looking at. They really don't know what's going on. They're looking on the outside in. So for those people, they really needed to hear that, because that's really what, you know, Arkansas needs. Because as far as I've gotten started in the scene, that's exactly what it's been. Like you said, you can work on a promotion right here, 15 minutes down the street. These promoters don't get along, so you know it takes somebody like you to do something like that. So that's exactly what we need. And I want to start off on.
There's very few shows that I won't work for. Like there's a couple that, yeah, that right there, Mac Man. That's the fucking man right there. That dude should be booked at every damn show around. That's a bottom dollar, God's honest truth.
Okay, hey, yo, hey, how you doing, boss man? Good to see you, and thank you for joining in on us. I got to talk about the opportunity you just had with the Good Brothers, because you did just have a match with them. But before we get to that, kind of talk about the faction, your tag team partner, because I know you and your tag team partner Bruce have been around for a long time. Kind of talk about, you know, how y'all started the faction and how everything got started from there.
Okay, so Bruce, I went high pitched there for a second there. Bruce, I think he's been wrestling for about 16, 17 years, something like that. And we were actually we were both working at OCW. I'd come in as this big heel cult leader thing, and we worked an angle together. I mean, it just beat the shit out of each other for months. And then finally, they turned me baby. I went back to more of the crazy guy, and me and him got to talking one night. We're like, man, we done did this, we done did this, we done did. Man, what is there left to do? And like, why don't we tag? Like, all right, yeah, we'll give it a shot. And then like that first night, man, we had instant chemistry, and like, man, we're just kind of like some modern day monsters, and we just looked at each other like, that's it, and it blew up from there. You know, my wife is also a member, and Logan is technically a member, but he is pursuing more of his own thing now. Uh, so he's still with us, but he's kind of doing his own thing. But man, we've just really been pushing the group. Like there's very few times that we'll take a booking without the others being able to be there. Every once in a while, but just depends on the situation. But man, we're getting working all over the state. We're in Memphis every episode. We're there every taping. We got to do that big School of Morton tag tournament a couple years ago, and then just working ourselves to the bone. Just trying to be the best that we can be.
Yes, and definitely. So I want to talk about it because, like I said, I've seen y'all in tag team tournaments, Memphis wrestling together, and all this other stuff y'all been doing together, all this other cool stuff y'all been doing together. Just want to throw that out there. Talk about the opportunity you guys just had. Of course, if you guys haven't seen the picture below, they are the OCW Tag Team Champions. But if you had, talk about the opportunity you guys just had, getting to wrestle the Good Brothers. Like, how was that? How did that opportunity come along, and how was it wrestling?
Okay, so we are no longer the tag champs. We actually lost those belts that night because that match got turned.
Lost though.
Yeah, well, that match got turned into a fatal 4-way tag match.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but we did get to interact with them quite a bit. I slapped the dog shit out of Luke Gallows, and I was everybody was about to beat my ass. Bruce stomped out of Carl Anderson. We thought we were gonna get, and then they just I poked. But no, we weren't going to be back for a while, so it made sense to what needed to be done. We did not get pinned, so we have an opportunity next time we're up there. But no, we got to work some with them. Did get to talk to Gallows a little bit afterwards. I asked him, anything, any critiques, anything. And the best thing that I heard, he goes, y'all came out, you were in gimmick. It's a cool ass gimmick. You stayed in character the entire time. He goes, everything you did, it was in character. And he goes, and you can't beat that. So, hopefully next time they're coming through Arkansas, they get to meet the monsters in the middle. So.
Yes, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So, getting to the last part of the interview, just we want to know what, for the people that's breaking into the business, what would you say would be the hardest part about becoming a wrestler?
Well, it's mental game, the mental side of it. I mean, there's a lot of physicality that you have to. This shit ain't natural. The way we bump on the ground, the way we throw ourselves down, it's not a natural instinct, So it's more mental, teaching yourself how to do things a certain way, having a thick skin, because no matter how good you are, no matter what you do, there's going to be a lot of hatred thrown your way, and just patience, man. You gotta have patience because it don't happen overnight. I trained for almost a year before I even got to be a part of the show, But yeah, that mental aspect, I will tell anybody hands down, putting yourself in that mental state to do the things that are needed, to do the things that are asked of you, not that you let people walk over you, but doing what's best for the show.
Okay. I'm speaking of that. I'll probably have to highlight you about something like that after the show, because you know what I'm saying. I'll be back soon, but we talk about that after the show. Next, the last two questions before we wrap this up. What is the monster like outside of wrestling? There's no monster. There's no what. What do you like to do when there's no wrestling?
You mean when I'm on my medication and my mind is flipping? You're seeing it right here. I'm just big goofy bastard. I got told at work not too long ago. This guy hadn't been working there very long. He was like, man, he goes, when I first met you, you look extremely intimidating. Big, tall, big old tall guy with big long beard, just had this scowl look on your face. He goes, and then you talk. And it was like, this guy, I can't say the word he used, but this guy is not all there. No, man, I'm just, I'm a fun loving guy. I like to goof off, spend time with my wife as much as I can. When I'm not doing that, I'm either reading or I'm messing with my multitude of different collections of like figures and horror stuff. Man, I am the personification of ADHD and bipolar disorder combined. And I like doing this kind of stuff. Doing the podcast and stuff like that. Just having fun with it. And I'm 45 years old. I got kids. I got grandkids. I can't take life serious. I've just got to do whatever I can do to keep going completely crazy.
I feel it. And with that being said, excuse me, we got a little FTW kind of break in the room, kind of getting the interview. Y'all got to excuse him. Good God Almighty, yes. But yes, as we get ready to wrap the latter part of the interview, I just want to ask, what are your goals for 2026? Like, what does the Monster have plans for 2026?
Man, talking with Bruce and with Tab and Logan and everything like that. Main thing is we just want to get out there more. We want to travel around and do more. Right now, with work schedules for my wife and for Bruce, it's been a little more difficult. But one thing we mainly want to do, we want to help where we can. We want to help, we're working very closely with Tornado Pro Wrestling. Very, very good group of guys. We're working very closely with them. We want to help them grow, working with other places as well. And that has been the whole goal, is to help others grow, but also maintain our name, maintain our reputation. That when you see us on the flyer, when you see us on the card, you're about to see a damn good show.
Definitely. And now, boss man, I just got a group called Diamond Land. I have a faction called Diamond Land. It's a lot of us. Kind of like I try to make as much Bullet Club as possible. So it's like everybody would know. It don't matter what kind of gimmick. It's just like it's a bunch of us. I will say that. And with that being said, actually speaking of Tornado, I talked to their promoter. He said I'll be making my Tornado actual debut in April. So I'll be in Arkansas more this year.
I'll be
2 years I went in Arkansas off, so I was like, yeah, I gotta get back to Arkansas.
Dude, it's because it's growing. It's growing. It's becoming a place to be. There are a lot of shows. There are a lot of shows in Arkansas. So if you're not able to be booked every weekend, you're doing something wrong. There's so much going on in Arkansas. There's a lot of quality wrestling in Arkansas, and people are finally starting to notice.
Yes. You just want to say hello? Say hello. Okay. With that being said, man, I just want to say thank you, Mr. Draven, for the time of the day. You got your podcast coming up, and y'all be able to go check out my man's podcast. It'll be like 7:00, right?
8:00.
Okay, 8:00. 8:00 right on his Facebook Live. Make sure y'all go follow the Monster. And I just want to say once again, thank you for giving us the time.
Special Dummies Network, Arkansas Wrestling Unleashed, every Thursday, one or the other, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the other Facebook, different Facebook, on a bunch of Facebook, and crap. Draven Morrow, Modern Day Monsters, whoever. Arkansas wrestling in general, damn it.
Yes, nothing but love. And once again, man, I thank you guys for coming in, taking the time out of y'all day for joining in, kicking it with me and the Monster. And once again, man, we are out. Thank you for your time.
Man. That girl done called about 3 times asking what this shit is. I come back to the house in a minute, man. Don't pay the neighbors no goddamn mind. Yeah. What you talking about, nigga? Yeah, I got this kind of shit. All that shit going for a different price, though. Alright, bet. I can't talk too much. She said, damn, what is this flavor? I got the flavors, this shit loud. You got neighbors, they like the flavors, this shit smoke. It's like the 80s, it's jumping like coke. She said, Kush, it make her float. Baby, these ranks, we gon' have to rock the boat, man.